averaging about 19, 20 pounds, so pretty good size. Nice fur. Hello everyone, Trapper Dan here. Thanks for stopping by Trapper Snore. On my last episode, right at the end, I said I had some ideas to up my fisher game. So here it is. And what is this? Well, it's kind of an invention of mine. It's a coroplast fisher box. And the reason I made this is because to up my fisher game, I really need more traps out. I only have 4 wooden boxes. They look like this. Here's one out in the field. They're cool. They're old school. I told you that people also use screens to make some very lightweight fisher boxes. People are using mailboxes. I kind of did the pricing, and I can get a whole sheet of this coroplast for 20 bucks. That's 4x8, and I can cut it up and make these boxes pretty cheap. Now, don't go and copy me and expect this to work. I have no idea. I know they make, you know, political signs and all those signs for your advertising your tree service guys and your plumbers and electricians, and you know these signs are advertising everywhere. Well, they're made out of coroplast, so basically it's corrugated plastic, and it holds up pretty good. Over a long time outdoors it gets brittle, but I'm only trapping for the fisher season. So anyways, if you'd like to know how to make these, I'm going to show you right now. It's absolutely not to scale. It's kind of crude drawing, but this is my design, which seems to be working. So it's basically an 18.5 inch by 20.5 inch piece of coroplast, which I have right under here, and then also a 10.5 inch by 16 inch for the lid. And something really important that you need is one of these. This is a Coral Claw by Trax. I think this did cost me about $23. What this does is it helps you to cut one side of the corrugated plastic so that you can crease it and fold it like this. And without this, it's way too easy to cut both sides all the way through. Otherwise, you just need some cutting tools and measuring tools, and I'll show you how to do it. Anybody out there that works in a sign shop is probably laughing at me right now, but hey, you know, like I'm no carpenter, I'm no sign maker either. Just cut out the pieces that I need. So that's going to be the box, and that one's going to be the top. Now I'll show you how I cut them out. Okay, so first of all, this particular fisher box is for a 155. This is a Bridger 155, Conibear style body gripping trap. Boy, watch out for these guys too, because the safeties are so long that they don't even, they're just flopping around when this, they're way too long. I think I gotta bend these things so that they're a little bit safer. But in any case, we need to make it fit this. And although this is a 5-inch inside trap, the outside, because of the way the trap is shaped, is about 6.5. And so it's 6.5 tall and 5.5 wide. So what I do first is I'm just going to measure and mark with my Sharpie here where all my cuts are going to be. Okay, so the important thing is that cutting across the corrugation, you should start that first, because if you've cut it up, it's hard to hold on to. So you want to make your first cut the most difficult one. So basically you take this and you set it into there, and then I'm going to pull really hard and pull it right through to cut one side. There we go. So that was pretty hard to do. But now we're going to go with the corrugation, so we're just going to find one of these holes here. It doesn't have to be exactly on the line, and you'll see this one. That one's super easy. Just pull it right through, it's like nothing. Same thing on the other one here. I'll find a good spot, pull it straight through. Okay, so now we have a bendable board. Okay, so what we want to do now is we want to make it so that it will close up. So I'm going to put dotted lines where, just like I did on my drawing here, where we're going to cut it. So we're going to cut across here, and we're going to cut across this side here, but we're going to save some flaps that are going to help us. It's a little bit easier to fold if you make these kind of come in at the end like that. So what I'm going to do now is just take the scissors and cut that out. Now we have a foldable box. So what we're going to do is we're going to put some Velcro on it so that it will fold together. So I have some pre-cut Velcro pieces here. This also was reasonable. I think it was $26 for like a 26-foot roll or something of hook and loop. I think technically this is not Velcro. It's hook and loop. No name brand, but it's heavy duty. So what I do is I just stick it on there, and then I take the other one and take the paper off it and stick it right onto it so that it's placed perfectly. Stick it right on there. Then we take this box, make sure you can see it on the camera. You basically line it up and squeeze. Line it up and squeeze. I forgot to tell you why I'm using Velcro is because I'm considering these breakdown boxes. So at the end of the year, when I want to store them, I can just lay them flat again, and they're not going to take up any space in my fur shed. Also, I guess when you're traveling in your truck or anywhere, you can just have them flat and put them together on the set. So there's the bottom box. Let's do the lid. Okay, the lid is similar. I'm just going to mark it out here. Okay, again, it's important to use the coral claw, this guy here, when you're going across. So I'm going to go ahead and do that one first because it's hard to do and you gotta really hold it. So we're just going to get that pointed right into it. Put it on the table here, try to hold it steady. Yeah, if anybody knows any tricks to that one, please share them with me. It's hard to go across it. Now you'll see how easy this goes. You just stick it in here and slice that one. All right, so now again, we've got a bendable lid, but we're gonna cut through the sides here so our flaps can go down and help us hold it together. So just gonna cut this, both sides. And then on the lids, I'm going to put a couple of Velcros to help hold the box together. See how it folds. So we're going to put some Velcro here so that it holds these down. It's a good idea to purposely keep the Velcro on separate sides of the table, otherwise they all start grabbing each other. Squeeze. And that heavy duty Velcro will hold it together. To help hold it onto the box. And then we'll get the box itself. We'll put the lid on, slide it forward, and then I'll squeeze these ones down on the sides. stick them on. That one's on. That one's on. There we have it. Not too bad, huh? So there's the box. Pretty quick to put together. Now with regards to the slots for the trap, I didn't measure those. I feel like it's more accurate to just put the trap up here. And then I kind of just look and see where I'm going to cut that out. So right about here, right about here, like the other side, right about there, right about there. And for that, I'm just going to use scissors. For this trap in New York State, there isn't any regulation on having it in a box. You can set a 5-inch trap in any manner that you wish. I'll go ahead and I'll put the actual statement in the laws right up on the screen. Cut out the other side. But the reason we're making a box is because we want to put the bait in there and we want the fisher to dive in. What's nice about this is the width is nice. It fits nice and snug. There we have it. Trap fits inside. I thought about maybe putting some venting on the back so that beaver meat can be smelled, but honestly, there's gaps all around this. I'm sure it's going to smell. I don't want to compromise the strength of the box by putting more holes in there. Not that it would, but I'm pretty happy with it. So why am I making custom Coroplast fisher boxes? Basically because I want to get a fisher this year. I want to cover more territory and get more boxes out. I only have 10 days more to trap for fisher. So this was a cheap way to do it. Who knows, maybe these knockdown Coroplast fisher boxes will be really useful for a few years. For the cost of them, I think it's worth the gamble. If you wanted to have your sign shop make these camo on the outside before you even started cutting, you could have them stickered up and they'd all be camo. You could probably paint them, but I'm not going to bother doing that because I just want to get them to use, and I don't think the color matters at all for fisher. Maybe for people seeing them, but yeah, I'm just going to bury them in the leaves and see how it goes. Here it is. I showed you how we make it, but I think one of the great benefits of this is you can just have them all flat like this, stacked up in your truck or in your ATV or wherever. It weighs nothing and it's flat. And then when you get to your trap sites, you just put them together. Flip this up, go ahead and Velcro, take your lid, flip that in. This fits right on the back. Boom, your box is done. This one I didn't cut the slots in yet for the traps, but just wanted to show you how you can just lay it flat. Well, we can see the fisher boxes are working, but not the target. Got a big opossum today. The rock set with only my beaver caster. Scored a bobcat this morning. Awesome. It's Willie's first bobcat, so he's a little bit excited. I guess what Gary Groenwald would call mushy spots, but not too bad for an eastern bobcat. Oh, I connected on my first bobcat of the season. Let me show you how I made this rock set. Okay, so I'm resetting my rock set since I had to go away. So I put my beaver caster lure right on the bottom of this rock. Nice smear of it. And now we're just gonna flip it over. Willie really likes this one. So this is a rock which was already here. Perfect eye appeal at the corner of the field. So all I did here was dig a hole under the rock and put a little bit of Bud's Trapline lure on here, which is a recipe of essentially mostly beaver caster. So what we have here is some hairs on the trap, so I'm going to be able to tell what pulled out, and I think this was a deer. Yeah, Willie's checking it out too, but these are deer hairs. White underneath and brown out on the tip. All right, Willie, let's get this hole ready. Come on, dig it out, buddy. Let's get this ready for next time. Dig, dig, dig. Come on. Hey, you're slacking off. Let's get the hole dug. There you go. Work it, buddy. Work it. Nice and deep. Okay, that rock set's all set again. The trap is right down in here, and we've got the beaver caster up under the rock. This rock existed here before. The wind is blowing towards this road, which everything is traveling, and it's a pretty big eye catcher. So here's another Fisher set with the Coroplast box. This time I have raccoon meat in there because I ran out of beaver. Up on this stick up here, can't really see it. I have some Fisher lure. And this is a stone wall that runs along between two farm fields. So I'm feeling like it's a good spot. I actually have a weasel box right over there as well. Okay, this Coroplast Fisher box is more in a forested area. There is a meadow out there, but I put it in a little deeper. And it's right along this log here. I have some Fisher lure up in the tree. Fisher lure in the box with raccoon meat. And trailing scent all around on the ground. We can see the Coroplast Fisher box works, but this is not our target. We're gonna keep trying. So we have this in my backyard. All right, so Willie's taking care of that. That was a big buck. That was a big buck. Morning, everybody. Trapper Dan here.
And brother Jason.
Yeah, I got my brother with me. This is pretty rare, special treat. Jason is an avid outdoorsman in the Jackson, Wyoming area. We both grew up in Vermont, but what brought you out to Wyoming, Jason?
Just a love of the outdoors and wanting to ride my snowboard down the mountains.
Yeah, he's a big snowboarder, but you got hooked, didn't you?
Uh-huh.
What would you get hooked with?
Well, I got hooked with a love for throwing flies on a fly rod for trout in the mountains.
Wow. And since then, you've been a pro.
Uh-huh. Well, it took a while to become pro.
Yeah. How many years?
Oh, I'd say I wasn't a true professional for about 5 years after I started.
Yeah. What makes you a pro?
Well, the amount of hours one works in the industry per year is, it's something you got to maintain. But it's, well, it's just that I do it. It's my passion and it's my profession.
Well,
so I'm a pro.
Yeah, speaking of that, do you do this for someone else?
No.
So tell us about it.
I guide for myself a small independent boutique fly fishing service called Jackson Hole Fishing Adventures.
All right, so you're an outfitter out of Jackson, Wyoming.
Correct.
Yeah. And so, folks, if you go out to Jackson and you want an incredible experience fly fishing, you got to check in with Jason.
Mm-hmm.
What is it that you do for your clients most? What kind of fishing, fly fishing?
Well, we mainly go in drift boats. So you can wade fish, or you can, go in a drift boat, and it's a much more luxurious and unique experience because you cover so much ground, and floating down a river is just a special treat as it is. And then when you get to fish from the boat and catch anywhere from 5 to 15 to even 25 fish a day, and you dry fly fish, nymph fish, and it's just a lot of fun, and I love spending time on the water with people.
Yeah, and what kind of fish, are they catching? What's the main fish? I know you said trout.
Oh, the cutthroat trout in Jackson on the Snake River. River cutthroat trout.
Oh, awesome! And I know you have done a little bit of lake fishing too, right? Near Yellowstone, or
yeah, we've yes, indeed, lake fishing, mainly streams though.
Mainly, okay. Mm-hmm. What do you do about the grizzly bear situation and bison and stuff? Does that you come into any dangerous situations?
We try to avoid them. Luckily, where we fish mainly on the Snake, we don't have grizzly run-ins. You can certainly see them and have run-ins in Yellowstone and Grand Teton parks. But personally, I have not had any scary run-ins with grizzly bears.
Bison can be a lot more unpredictable than grizzly bears.
Yes, and so can moose. The moose are very abundant out there. I run into lots of those on the rivers.
Yeah, and they can just be kind of aggressive if they're they get their hairs up, their hackles up, and say, like bison are super. The bulls are just totally unpredictable.
Yeah, and they can charge.
So, we just hit the first farm on the Trapline, so I'm hoping that Jason Budd brings me a little luck. It's been a little slow. I've been catching raccoons, but I've been trying to catch fisher. And just before Jason and I are talking here, you saw me teach you how to make something I did come up with. It's called the Coroplast Fisher Box. And I want to say I have almost like 20 of those, but I've only been able to get out about a dozen. And I have no fisher action. None. I keep catching fisher after the fisher season ends here in New York. It's going to end December 10th, and I only have till December 3rd, because guess what? I'm going to Wyoming to see Jason out there and to trap with Chappie up in Gillette. So I'm not going to have much more time to try to get fisher here in New York. I set a couple Bobcat sets yesterday, so we're going to check on those. So yeah, let's get out on the Trapline. With the rain. Yeah, Willie gets the back seat today because we got Uncle Jason up front.
Uncle Duders. All my friends call me Duders. Just call me Uncle Duders.
Uncle Duders. So we're coming to the first set. We come around the corner here. If we see anything bouncing in a trap. It has been dry here. We haven't had rain for seems like 3 months. So this is the first day of rain. And my first trap sets are right here on the corner, and we don't see anything bouncing there. But we're gonna get out and take a little walk near the river where we have some raccoon sets. So far, brother Jason hasn't brought any luck to the Trapline today, but he's learning a lot about trapping as we go. So
that's for sure.
We're checking a different location on some fisher boxes, and this has been a very active spot for fisher in the past, but my boxes have not connected. Jason was also telling me about fishing that he does. What'd you say, for red drum down in Louisiana?
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
What's red drum?
Red fish.
Red fish? Is it good eating, or is it just sport fishing? Or
yeah.
How big are they?
Well, the bull reds, well, to be considered a bull red, it has to be 20 pounds or bigger.
Whoops, sorry. We got one DP right down in here. We got a raccoon on that already. Nothing new. We got
You
two.
run across the creek?
Sure.
Look at that.
Yep. He's a trapper doodle.
A trapper doodle.
Yep.
Come on, trapper doodle.
Can't wait to get Willie in the snow, see how he likes that. But so far, he just loves it out here. We got about 5 more sets to check with Willie and Uncle Jason. That one has had no connection yet.
Man, empty boxes everywhere so far.
Yeah, we got another one over here to check. The mice keep eating my meat, and I ran out of beaver. So I've been putting raccoon meat in there because I have lots of raccoon meat.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's maybe not as good for the fisher. I know the beaver meat is like the best, and the oil they can smell, and it stays good. It has scent even in the frozen times. The raccoon meat, actually, I can smell it. But yeah, the mice are getting in. They go right underneath the trap, and they go in there and eat my... What I should be doing probably is putting mouse traps.
Wow.
And then trapping the mice. And then the mice would become bait, you know.
There you go.
But maybe I'll do that next week. We'll see. Always something. All right, we got one more box to check. Hey, Willie, wait. Okay, let's go, bud.
Oh, what a good spot. 7 months old and already waiting for you?
Yeah, he's hunting now. He's like...
Smart dog. What a smart little whippersnapper.
You know what I'm going to do with him? We're going to do an episode where Willie finds all the trap sets. So what I do is I let him go.
Yeah.
And wherever he pees,
Yeah.
I set a trap.
Okay.
So those are... He's finding the urine post sets. And what he's doing is he's probably peeing where a fox or a coyote or a bobcat or someone else peed.
Yeah.
You know?
Of course. Makes sense.
Uncle Jason's got Willie over there because I forgot we do have 2 more boxes to check, and we don't want Willie going into a box. And this one has caught a raccoon, but there is nothing in it today. So right down in there. I know that fisher have been working this stream. Yeah, so one of the things that you do when trapping is you set on sign, right? I mean, set on sign, that's one of the golden rules. Figure out where they are and set there. I don't know how to set on sign for fisher. I don't know what fisher sign is.
Right.
I just know that where they are by seeing them. So there's a hunter that's been in here and he's been watching a fisher go up and down this stream. So I know they're here.
Yeah.
They're not going to my boxes. I think next week I'm going to start using some skunk essence just to really try to make it really hot, as they say, and see if I can get them in. But I can only trap fisher until December 2nd. Then I come out and see you. So one more box to check. The last box is the one on this stone wall right here, which I had really high hopes for. And yeah, it's a big old nothing. I still got meat in the back there. And this is where the fisher have been seen. I got scent up in the tree on a stick right there. So, Uncle Jason, you brought just a little bit of luck today.
Yeah.
We got a beautiful spot here on the waterfall, and we got a raccoon. He's hiding with the DP under this rock. So we'll get him out, and if you want to learn how to skin today, we'll skin the raccoon real quick. So, yeah, I thought he was jumping out at me. So let's go get the rifle.
Okay.
Yeah, so I cabled this DP to the rocks. So that's why he's right there. Pretty neat spot right on this waterfall here. I've actually caught a few raccoon here because they're always...
Really on his feet here.
Yep.
Come on, Willie. You got one, buddy. Willie, what do you think? What do you think? It's a good one? Willie loves when we get a catch. So proud, right? You're so proud, Trapper Doodle.
Hey, morning everybody here. He's got the girly helmet on. Yeah. Hey, safety first. We're on the ATV bumping around the fields. This is Noah, and we are checking our first trap. As you know, I had brother Jason with me the other day. He was good luck on the last trap. Well, Noah's good luck on the first one. And we got, he's hiding. We got a raccoon right here on the first trap. Noah's out on a ride along with me this morning. We're in the orange army wear because it is deer season. No one's supposed to be deer hunting here, but safety first. Yeah, so Noah is a hunter, but I think this is your first time trapping, right?
Yes, it is.
What do you think?
I think it's pretty cool so far, and yeah, it's a good time so far.
We harvested one raccoon today. This is one area of my trap line on a couple farms, and then later I have to check one that I have to drive to. Not getting any connections on the Fisher boxes in here, but you know, right now is go time on raccoons anyway, so we're doing good on those.
Yeah.
I was hoping we'd see a fox or something this morning, but nothing yet. So I was glad to bring Noah out on the line, especially because for me it's important to introduce people to trapping and the nature of trapping. We harvest natural furs that we're able to put into the world for garments or novelty, things that people can enjoy and use, keep them warm, and when they're done with them, they could pass them down for generations, or they could just throw them in the backyard and they're just going to naturally go back into the earth.
Right.
What a lot of people don't realize about trapping is it's nature's natural farm.
Right.
And
Good way of putting
yeah.
it. Nature's natural farm. I like that.
Yeah. And you know, trappers snore, right?
Trapper snore.
Yeah. What does that mean?
Sustainable, natural, organic, renewable resources.
Yep. That's what we're doing.